Well, joining us now, Ambassador Taranjit Sandhu. He's been a former ambassador of India to the United States, somebody who knows the India-America relationship as well as anybody. Thanks very much for being with us. You would have gone through the statement raised or made by the White House. I think everything is, as we expected, but there is one issue where Trump or the White House says that it's important for India and the US to move towards a fair bilateral trading relationship. Going forward, do you believe that it's the issues of trade and potentially tariffs which could be problematic in the relationship between the two countries?
So, Vishnu, look, we have to take a look at the broader picture first. And certainly in this relationship, there will be challenges. There have been challenges in the past too, but that provides the opportunities. So when we look at Trump 1.0 and we say that this has been a very successful relationship, obviously the challenges were converted into opportunities, and that's what will be needed here. But I think the significance of what we have seen in the media, that Prime Minister is likely to go to United States in February, based on what President Trump commented during his Air Force One interaction. I think two things very clearly stand out here. One is the importance of India. And secondly is the bipartisanship. And why I'm saying bipartisanship is because Prime Minister Modi was one of the last leaders who met President Biden. And he is one of the first leaders who's meeting President Trump 2.0. I think this needs to be seen, and most of the comments of President Trump needs to be seen in his domestic context, because he won the election largely. The second election was completely on domestic context. And here, the local economy and especially the cost of living. And when we say cost of living, we mean the oil prices, the bread, milk, etc., what impacts local people. And secondly, law and order, and that again links to what you call also is the crime, which is again linked to immigration, deportations. I mean, you can see a clear line here. And last, if I may just say, there is a perception for President Trump and his people who handle that there is a great trust of people in him, and actually the voting has shown that. There is a perception that he is a man of his word.
Right.
And what primarily I will point out there is the incident, and especially the assassination attempt, where when the shooting takes place, look, most of the people, it is but natural that you are looking around, getting into what exactly has happened. And here you had President Trump getting up and saying those iconic photographs. So he has this reputation, or what people call is uncertainty about him. That's actually a strategy. And if you bring that to this particular interaction, which is likely to happen, I think it provides a great opportunity for both the countries.
Sure.
It offers a very good opportunity.
So, Ambassador, the entire issue of deportations at some stage is going to impact India as well. There was just a couple of days back, Colombian illegal immigrants in the United States, shackled by the hands and their legs and their feet, being put on American transports, and then they were about to be, sent back, and then Colombia had problems with the way they were being treated, and then ultimately they have accepted that they will agree to getting them back. A large number of illegal Indian immigrants to the United States. Would we accept a situation like that where they're cuffed and being brought back to India?
So look, how they are treated is a matter which is different. Look, in the past also people have been brought back to India. So this is not the first time. In Trump 1.02, people had come back. So how they were brought in, I don't know this exact situation. So I'm not going to comment on this. I want to give you what I gave you, the bigger picture, that there is a belief, there is a perception in United States that the cost of living and the crime in United States will be controlled if the illegals are deported. Now, this is the broader picture, including the economy. And here, especially with regard to India, I would bring three issues which will come out of this. One directly, and subsequently you have already seen something or the other happening. One is the simple deportations. Look, there is a great difficulty for any government to say, please accept my deportations. Yes, you are very right in saying that treat them decently, like every human being is concerned, and I'm sure those instructions should be passed down to whoever is handling. But from what write-ups have been coming in the press, it looks about 18,000 people are already in the jail. Now, the exact numbers will depend upon the confirmation, etc., etc. But the illegals, it looks that President Trump is quite clear, and you have already given an example of one of his neighboring countries, that deportations is part of his domestic agenda. So that's one part. But beyond that, we'll also have to be a bit conscious about the fact that documentation, even of the people who are there, their documentations may not be correct, improper, some documents are not there. So you may see in the next phase, because the overall thinking is right now against the deportations. So therefore, these could also become subjects. The third, you have already again seen one of the executive orders signed leads to the children who are born there for H1Bs or L1, L2. Now here again, United States has had a special rule which says anybody born there gets the citizenship.
Yep.
That's not true. That's not true for many other countries.
Correct.
So whether we feel that we have the right to tell United States that whom you make citizen is our business, well, I will leave it there. But certainly that's another area which is going to be impacted.
Ambassador Sandhu, just on the entire issue of H-1B visas, obviously it's highly desirable in India, and Indians coming to America or going to America on H-1B visas have been brilliant and I think there's a sense that at one level it's worked. Trump isn't entirely certain or clear about what his policy is going forward, though he and people like Elon Musk have said that, look, we need to retain the maximum talent. How do you potentially see the entire issue of H-1B visas playing out?
So I think H-1B visa in the short term is pretty safe. The reason being that the H-1B visa people or crowd bring value and economic addition to the US economy.
Yeah.
And that's why you have heard Elon Musk, and of course, President Trump himself has spoken about it. So I don't see that danger. However, what could happen is that when companies are hiring H-1Bs, because some part of US population, especially the MAGA crowd, some element of the MAGA crowd has come out publicly. For example, Steve Bannon. Now, when such utterances are made, after all, it does go down in the society.
Sure.
So some kind of a khatra could be there, but I will not see it beyond that. I think the real reason, as I told you, that they bring value addition, and that's where this meeting is important because it's coming early. And to Trump, this is again a good opportunity where our leadership needs to re-underline to him the importance of India, whether it is strategic, that is the importance of this partnership.
Right.
Whether it's strategic, whether it's economic, whether it's in trade, etc., etc.
All right, Ambassador Sandhu, great speaking to you. Let's see where Trump 2.0 goes. I don't think there's a cause of any great concern per se, but there will be issues as all relationships have, and I'm sure we'd hopefully be able to get over them. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you very much, and this visit is a great opportunity, and I'm sure our leadership will use it. Both the sides will use it well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.